Okay.
And ready.
Oh my god.
Today I will be explaining the basic sensory and motor organization of the nervous system controlling human movement and the concept of open and closed loop control to a professor who teaches motor control. When moving from sensing to action in motor control, we have 7 different steps. Within each steps, we have different areas of the brain working to help create the action. First of all, we have all the sensations, which include exteroreceptors, which are located in the body surface, which detect stimuli outside of the body, including vision, hearing, tactile, thermal, and pain. Then we have interoreceptors and proprioceptors, which establish a relationship to the world around the receptor. The next step is the perception of the sensory information. This is when the information is sent to the primary sensory cortices to determine awareness of the stimuli and where the stimuli is originated. The brain then interprets this information, which occurs in the higher level sensory processing areas, which include the parietal, occipital, and temporal lobes, which helps the transition of perception to action. These areas also get inputs from the prefrontal cortex, which include emotional reactions and cognitive functions. Next, in the conceptualization, which occurs in the prefrontal cortex and the premotor cortex. This gives us decision-making, organization, and rhythmic coordination. Next is the strategy/plan. This occurs in the supplementary motor cortex, basal ganglia, and cerebellum, which gives us a plan for the movement and makes the movement smooth and coordinated. Activation is next, which is the movement plan being sent from the primary motor cortex to the rest of the body. Lastly, we have the execution, which is the motor neurons actually giving the command to the activators of the muscles and joints to perform the task. Lastly, I will explain open and closed loop, which is 2 different mechanisms of control. Open loop is a feed-forward mechanism, while closed feed is a feedback mechanism. Open loop control has 2 levels of hierarchy, which include the executive, which is the command center, and the effector, which is what carries out the command. The open loop mechanism is when you perform an action and you do not use the feedback on the movement until after the action has been performed. An open loop control will be most effective in a stable and predictable environment and when the advanced instruction is given. A closed loop control includes 4 parts, being the executive, the effector, the reference of correctiveness, and the error signal. The information brought to the system can be used while the action is being performed, and you can change the movement.